Hello and welcome to the Educator's Edge. Now, here at the Educator's Edge, our goal is to help you teach smarter, to lead brighter and grow stronger. Hello, my name's Lisa Ellen. I'm your go-to guide and learning bestie, here to bring you more about the art and the science of adult learning, adult education, in a way that's practical, insightful, and empowering. Whether you're building a teaching business, boosting your confidence, or mastering a craft, you're in the right place. So let's dive in with today's episode, which is all about women in education and why we are important. I want you to think back. Who was the most influential female figure in your world? What did she teach you? How did she teach you? I've been reflecting on this because of International Women's Day, and I really like to celebrate and spend some time really thinking about these days. In my family, it's always been a thing. Like, we don't have a birthday, we have a birth month. So I come from a background of enjoying a celebration. So I have been pondering about the women who shaped my adult learning and my adult leadership. There has been a shift in the universe, hasn't there? There has been a shift where we're seeing more women come into leadership roles, and we have traditionally always seen women in education roles. And education for me, teaching, is a leadership role. Educators are behind every industry. And as industry educators, we shape the professionals who drive the world forward. Industry educators are at the intersection of learning and work, whether in healthcare, STEM, business, or beyond. However, we educators know adult learning is not just about skills and knowledge. We know that adult learning is more about allowing time and space to learn, mentoring, leadership, and breaking barriers. And often those barriers are with our own thinking. So, International Women's Day yesterday, Tuesday, March 8th. So I want to celebrate the women who changed the game by excelling in their field, teaching, training, and paving the way for those who followed. As an old nurse, Florence Nightingale has always been my inspiration. When I first graduated as a nurse, I went to Alice Springs and I wanted to change the world the way Florence Nightingale did. I soon learned that I couldn't. That wasn't my role. But what I could was learn about myself enough so that I could change how I chose to show up in the world. Needless to say, that old Flo, Florence Nightingale, is still my favourite role model as a nurse. So it's from my perspective that Florence revolutionised nursing and medicine through education. At university, we are still teaching her work. We have learned the power of washing hands and how important was that lesson during COVID. But she was such an extraordinary educator. She was a scientist and a nurse, but she was an extraordinary educator and leader in her field. She didn't just improve healthcare, but she built the framework for educating doctors and nurses throughout the world. She transformed health leadership from an informal practice into a respected profession using data, structure, and rigorous education. So, the Florence lesson for industry and for industry educators is that expertise alone isn't enough. True impact comes from passing that knowledge on so that we can ensure the next generation is more substantial. Now, let's just think about STEM for a minute, those STEM industries: engineering, maths, science, technology. Now, I was really quite ignorant of the impact of engineering and women in engineering until I saw that movie, Hidden Numbers. Have you seen it? It's about these NASA pioneers. They're educators in disguise. They were African American women who worked behind the scenes. Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson are brilliant and driven mathematicians and engineers. Their impact was more than discovering hidden figures in NASA history. They were leaders, they were mentors, and they were educators, training other African American women to navigate the complex aerospace world. So, for example, Dorothy Vaughan became NASA's first African American supervisor, teaching women of colour in programming computers, and this happened as computers were replacing human calculators. Previously, it was all done in your head or on your hands, pressing buttons. But as that changed, Dorothy was able to see a need for more and an opportunity for more women to get involved. And when they were involved, you know, those that were good at maths, they earned money. They could contribute to their family. So she taught women of colour programming as computers replaced human calculators. Mary Jackson fought for the right to take engineering classes in an all-white school, paving the way for more women in STEM. Katherine Johnson also mentored young engineers while making calculations that sent astronauts to space. So what is the lesson here? What is the lesson from these women in education for us? I suggest the lesson is that teaching is not just about delivering content. Education is more powerful than that. It's about opening doors, opening minds, advocating for inclusion, and equipping others with the skill of leadership. Current research speaks loudly about the role of women in leadership and learning. The contributions of women in education and leadership are not merely historical. They are contemporary, they are happening right now. And we have the data to back up the facts. So the American Psychology Association published an article that says that women leaders enhance organisational performance, improve collaboration, productivity, and fairness. They've done research, they have statistics to back it up. In healthcare, female leadership links to better patient outcomes, financial stability, and innovation. Yet women hold only 25% of healthcare leadership roles in an industry that's dominant in female employees. That's the BMG Global Health Study. Another comes from Nature Research, and it's found that companies with more women in leadership roles show higher levels of innovation, benefiting from diverse perspectives. And finally, Reuters found that despite progress, women remain underrepresented in the top executive roles, with female CEOs declining in Britain's top 350 public companies for the second consecutive year. As educators, we've got a lot to learn. We play a crucial role in changing the world as we know it. We do this by mentoring, advocating, and preparing the next wave of professionals to lead. So what does this mean for industry educators? Whether you are educating future nurses, engineers, business leaders, skilled trades people, or mentoring teachers, prac teachers, nurses in the workplace, doctors, remember that you are not just delivering technical skills. You are impacting their thinking. We are shaping a future of leadership, inclusion, and innovation. So today, ask, who are you mentoring? Because as a leader in your role, you are mentoring somebody. Who looks up to you? Who do you look up to? How are you breaking barriers in education? What impact will learners have on industries that we serve? So your call to action on this month of women, International Women's Day, take a moment, recognise a woman who has shaped your professional journey. Or take a minute to remember and recognise a woman who has shaped your personal journey. Maybe it's a teacher, a mentor, or a leader. Maybe it's your mum. Share her story. Celebrate her impact. And most importantly, carry forward the work of empowering the next generation. Don't be afraid to teach. Because we educate, we don't train. We change the future. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Lisa Ellen. I'm the founder of the Academy of Learning for Adults, and I empower people to give educators the edge. Thank you for joining me.